On Yom Hashoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, we come together to honor the memory of 6 million Jewish lives lost and millions of others, Roma, disabled individuals, LGBTQ people, political dissidents, Jehovah's Witnesses, and others whose stories are also woven into this tragic history. This day is an opportunity to reflect not only on the horror and loss of the Holocaust, but also on the lessons it teaches us and the importance of standing up against hatred, bigotry, and intolerance.
Before the war, Europe was home to vibrant Jewish communities that contributed to every facet of society, from culture and art to politics and education. In cities like Warsaw, Berlin, and Vienna, Jews lived side by side with their non-Jewish neighbors. They built families, communities, and futures with a rich culture and intellectual presence that played a central role in the lives of these cities.
For these communities, life in Europe was not only a story of survival, but also one of hope and prosperity. But this hope was shattered as the rise of Nazi ideology began to tear apart the fabric of European society. The peaceful life they had known would soon turn into an unthinkable nightmare.
In the 1930s, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party rose to power in Germany, fueling hatred, xenophobia, and bigotry. In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws were enacted, stripping Jews of their civil rights, banning them from certain professions, and segregating them from the rest of society. These laws were the first step in the Nazis' campaign of exclusion that would soon escalate to mass violence.
By 1941, the situation had grown more dire. The Nazis began their final solution, a plan to exterminate all Jews in Europe. Jews were rounded up, forcibly removed from their homes, and sent to ghettos or concentration camps in a brutal attempt to erase entire communities from existence. It was not only Jews who were targeted. Millions of others, including Roma, disabled individuals, political dissidents, were also subjected to persecution and extermination.
The Nazis established over 40,000 concentration and extermination camps across Europe. These camps were not just prisons. They were factories of death, where millions were systematically murdered. The brutality was not just physical. It was mental, emotional, and spiritual, aimed at erasing the very existence of the entire people. Auschwitz was the largest and most notorious of these camps. Over 1 million people, mostly Jews, were murdered there. Upon arrival, many victims were immediately executed in gas chambers, while others were forced into labor until they perished from exhaustion, starvation, or disease. The camp's infamous "work sets free" gate was a cruel lie, making the reality of a death trap.
The conditions were inhumane. Overcrowded barracks, inadequate food, rampant disease, and brutal punishment. People lived in constant fear, stripped of their dignity, their humanity. The daily struggle for survival was a battle against unimaginable odds, and for many, it was a battle they would not win.
But amidst the darkness, some survived. Some survived the camps, while others hid or escaped, often at great personal risk. Their stories, harrowing and heartbreaking, serve as a testament to human resilience. Survivors like Eli Wiesel, who later became a powerful voice for the memory of the Holocaust, helped ensure that the world would not forget. Their words, their books, and their testimonies continue to educate new generations about the importance of remembering and the responsibility we all share in preventing such evil from ever happening again. In 1945, as Allied forces liberated the concentration camps, the world was confronted with the full horror of what had happened. The images of survivors, emaciated and broken, yet alive, serve as a stark reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming evil. But the survivors did not end with liberation. Many found their families gone, their homes destroyed, and their entire world shattered.
In the aftermath of the war, survivors began to rebuild their lives. They found new homes, new communities, and in many cases, new families, but the scars of their past remained. Many survivors live with the psychological, emotional, and physical effects of their experiences. Yet they rebuild their lives, showing the power of human strength and determination.
On Yom Hashoah, we light candles to remember those we lost, but more than just a moment of remembrance, this day is a call to action. We remember because we must. We remember so that we can prevent history from repeating itself. The act of remembrance is a pledge to the future, a pledge to never let hatred and intolerance go unchecked.
On Yom Hashoah, we reflect not only on the 6 million Jews murdered, but also on the millions of others who suffered and perished. We reflect on the importance of remembrance and the responsibility we all share in preventing such hatred from ever taking root again. The memory of the Holocaust is a call to every one of us to ensure that the darkness of such atrocities can never consume us again.
Across the world, Holocaust survivors, families, and communities come together on Yom Hashoah to remember. In synagogues, at memorials, and in classrooms, people light candles and recite the Kaddish, the Jewish prayer for the dead, honoring the memory of the millions lost. These actions help ensure that the voices of the survivors and victims will never be silenced.
For future generations, this day is an opportunity to learn. Holocaust education is crucial in ensuring that we never forget the lessons of the past. We must teach our children that hatred, bigotry, and prejudice have no place in our world. This education is a tool in combating injustice, helping to ensure that humanity remains vigilant in the fight against such evil.
Every year, millions of young people around the world hear the stories of survivors. These stories are more than just history. They are warnings, urging us to speak out when we see injustice and to stand firm against hatred whenever it arises. We must never forget the lessons of the past, and we must always act to prevent such atrocities from happening again. In places like Israel's Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial and Museum, and other sites around the world, memorials are kept alive by the memory of those who perished. These sacred spaces allow us to reflect, to remember, and to honor those lost in the Holocaust. They remind us of the importance of preserving memory and confronting denial, which remains a disturbing challenge today.
Remember, reflect, act. The Holocaust is not just a chapter in history. It is a lesson for all of humanity that we must carry with us daily. We must never forget, and we must always work to ensure that such horrors are never repeated.